How much time did you have to prepare for your character, Casey, on the
It
Horizon?
was about 2 months, would you say?
Yeah.
2 months. And we talked every day. I mean, we became very close at that time period. I mean, we talked nearly every day, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, it's important. You have to have we've talked about, when you need to have this kind of friendship. Because for me, if I feel that it's just purely work, don't talk to me, but I'm going to be there just for work and then I'm out, I don't want those people. I don't know, it's important because for me, I like this guy, I want to work with him again. If it was just pure work, I don't really care about you, we have something just too formal and professional-ish, I don't want that. I want this kind of freedom of, yeah, we're friends. If you need me, call me anytime. The other day, call me at 2 a.m. my time. It's like, hey, I got an amazing news. I'm like, hey, cool, no problem. You need to have this kind of connection.
That just happened. That just happened recently too.
When it was like this, a good 2 months of preparation that we went through everything, costume-wise, that jacket, and he showed me some jacket.
We looked at so many jackets to arrive at this jacket.
It's a nice
the
jacket.
squeakiest jacket ever.
Yeah, it was
It's nice though.
and it's from Montreal.
It's from Montreal. It came from a thrift shop.
Oh, cool.
And it's.
But he took the time. That's the thing. I like him because he took the time to. I had a vision for the boots, the jeans, the jacket, the hair, this.
The car.
And yeah, the car, everything. So we took the time, and he was a soldier. He went online, took pictures, selfie. And I was like, yeah, no, it doesn't
And I don't
work.
selfie. Or I try not to.
So
it's not a good look. But yeah, besides just the aesthetics, I mean, I was notebooking.
Yeah, a lot.
We had precedent films that we had decided, or that he had handed down to me, and that we had spoken of films that we had felt that either reflected the tone of the film as a whole or the character.
But that's the thing. Almost every 2 days, whatever. It was important for me to go over the script. What is your thought? Do you have any question? Is there lines that doesn't make sense for you? Is there a thing you would like to change? For me, I'm always open to anything because I don't want to be a dictator. He's an artist. I want him to bring his artistry to my film. And so anything, I'm super wide open. And when we were shooting at the hotel room, he came with his note, that scene, I don't know, I think, what about this, and it was way better. So it's important to be open, to have this kind of a collaboration. Otherwise, you're killing the film if you're trying to be a dictator all the time. No, this is my idea, my writing, my this, my that. I'm like, no, I don't care. Just use it, twist it, make it better. And even in the big white desert scene, he tweaked some words just to make it more natural for him. Sometimes the way I write it, it's very French Anglo. So I needed sometimes a guy of pure English to just make it more natural.
There's some poutine grease on the script pages sometimes, yeah.
At what point did you two meet in person? After all these phone calls and these Skypes? And
The first time shooting.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was like, hey, let's shoot. Mm-hmm. It was the same thing for everyone. I never did a casting in person. It was always via Skype, Facebook, whatever. And then it's like, let's go, we meet, we shoot right away.
Because you were in Montreal, and
Yeah,
so you would call.
it's money-wise, but I don't believe that you're going to be better if I'm in the room. I really believe that. I think that Skype, whatever, and I think you're going to be better if you're doing it live with me than if you're just trying to have a reader with your papers. I don't know. I think and he was better when we did it together because I can really tell him what to do, the direction to take, change this, try this, think about this, about the character, and it was better. So. This is my method. It doesn't mean that it works for everyone, but for me it works, and I've been doing the same thing for 15 years, and it's been kind of working so far. So,
and to his credit, to Pascal's credit, I mean, he was very open to the collaborative element of filmmaking, and I think that's very often lost in actors' minds, where you're aiming to please, you're really just aiming to get the approval of whomever it is you are seeking, whether it be casting, producers, the director when you're on set. And I think it works best, and I think that it's the nature of this business to be a collaborative effort. And as such, he's bringing things to the table, and I'm bringing things to the table, and I feel like that's the responsibility of the actor. It's really what you're getting hired for, is bringing those sorts of choices and those sorts of even contentions to the table. And in that way, you can, it's like the Hegelian dialectic, you know?
Yeah, I always believe that for me as a director, I want to be surprised. I want to be like an audience. So I'm like, I'm giving you your circle of direction. This is your bubble to play with. Go have fun and then impress me and then bring something that I didn't think about. And he did a couple of things that I was just like, oh, that's way better than what I could have written or something.
Well, Pascal, you've said that you put a lot of yourself into every story.
Yeah.
So did you give Tyler a backstory about Casey, whoever you envisioned his wounds were that the audience doesn't necessarily know, but that might be the reason for his rage in the film or different dynamics?
Did we do a lot of backstory? I think it was mostly my backstory that I told you about.
Yeah, and then he left the specifics to me.
Yeah.
Really, which was cool because in that way, if I totally tried to absorb his story off of this, it would have been too impersonal for me. So it was more of drawing upon, okay, what place in your life were you at, and where is that reflected in the script, and then for me to sort of ally that up with my own experiences and then bring those to the table. Because if I just tried to live his story,
Yeah, it would have been
I
different.
would be a French Canadian. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but
Filmmaker,
I'd be on the other side of the camera. Too.
Yeah, but that film is super personal for me, and but that's why it was for me important that I told him my backstory of why Casey is like that because of me, and the same thing for Alyssa and all those people. So I gave them to everyone a little backstory, but at the same time, I'm a big opener to just go off on this is your character, as long as you fit my vision. I'm fine with it, and if there's something wrong, I'm gonna move you around, refocus. But it's important for him. He's the one living it. I'm the one behind the camera trying to do something great, but he's the one making him alive and making choices. So it's important that he lives Casey.
And some of the best moments really were when I would go to him. I'd say, "Hey, I'm going to try something here," and he'd say, "Do you want to tell me what it is?" And I'd say, "Nope."
No.
And then we would just do it, and then he either
so
loved it or
frustrating.
hated it.
Yeah.
But he gave me the freedom and the space to be able to try things, and that was what made working on this film such a luxury, really, as an actor.
On the last shoot, were you sad to see Casey go?
Casey Taylor.
Casey.
Casey? No, he's right here. So it's no, but was a side. No, I was not really sad. It was more like a relief that he's never going to be away. That's the thing. I'm still him. He's still Casey, and he's going to live on now for the film. And so he's going to, I'm sure, hope that it's going to affect some people. So no, I think he's just going to grow and grow. And I think now in a society that Casey is everywhere.
Is it hard
Does
to
it
let
make sense?
It does. But I'm just wondering, is it hard to let a character go, especially if it's close to who your story might be or some feelings you have inside?
A little bit, but then after that you go with the editing, and then you transform it again, and then it's the release of the film and all that. So there's always some new ways of reliving it. And I'm sure in my next one, there's some, there's going to be a new Casey,
Sure.
new character that's going to be another part of me. So, no, I think, I'm good with it. I'm not going to cry over it.
For me, from a different side, it is sort of difficult to leave the character behind in the sense that certain affectations, certain feelings that I had built up in myself. I couldn't shake them right off the bat. I mean, there's a lot of things too, and like when you develop a relationship the way that we did on the film between Casey and Alyssa, there's a lot of carryover on something like that, and you really got to remember that it's a job, and but yeah, I mean, you ask yourself, you feel those feelings later, and even though you can remember creating them, I mean, it's an interesting process. I mean, it's a very intimate process doing a love story of the variety that we did, and it was taxing on me personally. I could probably use some therapy after.
But I think what is great is that's why I'm not sad to let it go. It's because I love this kind of melancholy feeling about that. It's kind of a souvenir. It's just it's out there, and I love this kind of a melancholy sadness of I wish I can go back, but then that's the beauty of it. I don't want to go back. Now it's done. I did the best that we could, and now the next one is going to have a new souvenir, new memories that is going to be different. But I don't know. I love this melancholy.
There's a beauty in the longing,
Exactly.
the sadness. Yeah.